Okay, so we are in week 2 of the Lower Extremity Control program, and obviously when we have a new program that comes out, there's going to be a lot of questions that we get asked. So I want to take this time to hit the most common questions that we're getting and make sure that any of the problems that you're having are being answered through the course of this program. So if you do have any problems, make sure to reach out to our team and let us know. So question number 1 that we've run into is when people are trying to do toe yoga, all of their toes are coming up. Obviously, that's not the purpose of toe yoga. So what we want toe yoga is that you have the 3 points of contact. So you have your first metatarsal head, your fifth, and your heel all on the ground. Okay, so when they're all on the ground just like that, you're now then picking up one toe, the big toe, and just holding it there. Now, if all of them come up at once, what I want you to do is take your finger and you're going to lift it up and just hold it there when you let your fingers go. Okay, that's how it should look. All right, and then if you find that when you try to lift your little toes up, everything comes up, you hold your big toes down, lift your little toes up, and you hold it just like that. So you're gonna hold it for time. So to make sure that you're getting really good at it, we're gonna go slower, you're gonna hold it up, you're not gonna focus on doing really quick reps, okay? You'll do that in later workouts, but to start with, it's just gonna be on holding it up isometrically. So the second question I got is toe yoga sucks. That's not a question. So it's just a common one, and you guys will get it. And getting that dexterity back, it takes time. So don't judge yourself too harshly. So question 3, I may have glossed over this, but there is a difference between what are called your foot intrinsics and your foot extrinsics. So when we look at your foot, the foot is a really interesting system. And one of the important things to remember is that there's really 3 things that help you control your foot. The first one is your nervous system. Second one are the passive structures from the bone, the ligaments, that help to just form your arch, to help to form the structure of your foot. The third one is the active system. Now the active system is all the muscles that control what your foot's doing. When I say intrinsics, what I'm talking about are the muscles that start in the foot and the end of the foot. Extrinsics start back here, they go down past the ankle joint, and then they insert in your foot. What's important to remember about that is that the extrinsics, they help to move your foot, but they don't stabilize your foot that well. The intrinsics, the ones that you're going to do when you do the foot doming exercises and the arch crunches, those help to stabilize the foot so those bigger extrinsic muscles can act on it and you can be more effective with it. So that's why we do those separately. And our starting point, the reason we start with toe yoga instead of going immediately to the intrinsics, is that if you don't have the dexterity enough to tell which one, be able to separate these different muscles, the extensor hallucis longus from the extensor digitorum longus and the flexor hallucis longus from your flexor digitorum longus, you don't need to remember those terms. You're not going to be coordinated enough to be able to do a arch crunch or a foot dome. Now on the topic of your foot intrinsics, the most common way, and this is question number 4, people are asking, why aren't we doing towel crunches, towel scrunches, gripping with our toes, picking up marbles, things like that to train these muscles here in the bottom of your foot? The reason is that doesn't separate your intrinsics from your extrinsics, and we have to train both. So your foot, if you dig with your toes, you're going to get muscles that actually originate back here to do the action. But when you shorten the foot, studies show that that muscle that you engage is not extrinsic. It's the intrinsic muscles. It's one of the only ways that you can actually fire those muscles, and that's critical for maintaining your arch, keeping your foot healthy. Which gets us to our last thing. This doesn't mean that you have to take your orthotics out when you go through this program, but the cool part about it is by getting all of the musculature in your foot to work really well, your orthotic becomes less important. And if you have questions on what it takes to get rid of your orthotics, yeah, we can have that conversation, and the exercises are in the Lower Extremity Control program will get started. Have fun.